Title: Betrayed and Broken. A desperate plea for redemption. Even if he files, I was asking we spend the 6 months it takes to get finalized with one another just to see how we feel. He states my face no longer brings him joy and instead, he sees regret and sadness. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's feeling good. Hope everybody's doing well. We are back with another story, guys. I will put the link to this in the description like usual. You guys read the title. Let's get into it. So, cheater desperate for a second chance. Uh-oh, my husband wants a divorce. Facts are, I don't blame him. I hurt him deeply last year when he discovered inappropriate text messages between my boss and me. I'm disgusted with myself for engaging and furthering such nonsense when I had an amazing husband at home. I've done a lot of self-reflection over this year, and I am positive I know the catalyst and recently began seeking professional help for my suicidal feelings. After he left for his side of the story, please see his post. His username is, I'll put it up here on the screen. But yeah, let's check out his side of the story too. Interesting. My pain is him feeling like I never loved him or further that my actions had anything to do with him. They didn't, and sadly, I was immature to engage and enjoy that attention even though I knew it would never get further than messages. In my heart, I know my husband knows nothing happened, but it doesn't change the betrayal. Yes, it's unhealthy to feel suicidal for anyone, but I just can't move on. I'm saddened because we promised forever, for better or worse. This is surely the pits of our relationship, but I believe we can grow stronger from this. This is surely the pits of our relationship, mostly because I recognize ways I took him for granted, and I internalized my feelings about the infertility issues we were having. Long story short, he hasn't filed because he knows he wants to proceed. We haven't seen each other since the first week of September last year, and I'm simply pleading for one last chance at this. Even if he files, I was asking we spend the 6 months it takes to get finalized with one another just to see how we feel. He states my face no longer brings him joy, and instead, he sees regret and sadness. Marriage counseling to him is not an option because he doesn't believe in it. For those of you who have felt betrayal, I'm wondering, is there anything I can do? What would have made you reconsider leaving and giving your relationship one last shot? Wow. Well, hold on. Let's check out his side of the story. You know, we just read her side of the story and what happened. Let's see if I can find him. So, let me do some quick searching real quick. Okay, here we go. Help me think this through. Let me click on this. Here's his name. Oh no, it's deleted. It says, help me think this through, married 2 years, caught her sexting, and it's deleted. It looks like his username was deleted too. This thread is archived. You guys had mentioned before you can find Reddit posts and things like that. The title of this is, help me think this through, married 2 years, caught her sexting, and I'll put his name up here again. If you guys can find that, let me know. We'll go ahead and do a video on that. But because I believe the comments should still be in here. Yes, the comments are still in here. So let's see if we can maybe get something out of the comments. So someone said his wife doesn't care because he is bringing in mega dollars. She is looking the other way. And by the sounds of it, this is not the first rodeo. Oh, I feel your pain, dude. My soon-to-be ex-wife cheated on me too. I know people trying counseling, etc., but cheating is a deal breaker for me. You don't mention kids. He's a divorced dude. No need to eat a ish sandwich and worry in the future about him and her. Good luck. P.S. Don't beat up the guy. It's your wife that allowed this, and you don't want a criminal record. And him asking if she gets wet watching him work. Ella, well, he has an ego on him, the size of a house. Wow, so it looks like he went in. Oh, here he is. He responded to that. Nope, thank God, no kids. We actually just found out last month that she can't have kids, and we're looking into IVF. Yeah, she did mention infertility issues. What kind of BS is that? Taking me to IVF appointments and sexting your boss. F that. Absolutely sounds like the husband is a smart guy. I really want to kick his A, but you're right. I can't get arrested either. No, don't do anything that's going to throw you in jail. Move on. Someone said, we talk about this a lot on this sub, but I will say it again. We cannot control what others do. We can only control ourselves. Absolutely. If she is receiving explicit messages, she has zero control over their content. She can only control her responses. As soon as she gets that disrespectful or salacious, whatever you want to call it, text from him, he should be deleted immediately. Her response should have been like, "That's inappropriate," and been deleted. The fact that he wasn't deleted and she didn't tell him to stop, she wanted it to happen, but he continues and says, "You have no idea what it is like in her situation." Men are aggressive. He is a coworker and a superior. You can theorize about what an ideal response should have been, but unless you are a woman in her situation, you have no clue. You simply have no clue. Sorry. Wow, really? She had no, but she didn't know what to do. Wow. Someone said, I completely agree. She cannot control the inappropriate text messages from the OM. However, she's failing to control herself. Him, I mean, when you see me working, do you get wet? Her, yes. You are just so gentle with your hands. Yes, in response to a question of do you get wet? What the F? That is her response, and it is far from shutting it down. It is answering in the affirmative. Wow, man. I want to see this original pose. It looks like it had the text messages and everything. But if they're going through divorce, it's probably a good idea. He'd take all that stuff down because he probably can get in trouble. I'm not sure. He commented. He said, I agree, and her reply should have been, that's not appropriate. Thank you. I am happily married. We all know that in all likelihood, she gave him an opening in the first place. It didn't start out that explicit. I'm sure they flirted before leading up to this. Absolutely, you know they did. You know they did, guys. Feel free. I'll put the link to this, even though it's deleted. It's got the comments in here. I'll put the link to this in the description, also along with her original post. But it looks like there's nothing as far as his post here. Not even like some updates or anything. Also, let's go back to hers and read the comments on her story. Someone said on her story, what could a person that betrayed me in this way do to regain my trust? Nothing, absolutely nothing. You did this 2 years into your marriage, that is not good. At this point in my life, I've forgiven so much ish and given so many second and third chances only to be ished on again that if someone disrespected me the way you did with your husband, I would just be done with you. No more time for that in my life. I've wasted enough time on loser people already. I don't know if that's where your husband is, but since you've been asking if it were me, you asking me for a second chance, you'd be ish out of luck. Someone else said, I think that's, in fact, where he is. How do I prove that this doesn't have to define me? Perhaps I can't. I have lost him for a year. That pain is enough to make sure this never happens again. So given a chance, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years may be stronger. It's easy to take someone for granted until you experience losing them. I appreciate your honesty, though. That was her replying. Someone else said, you say all the things you want and feel, but what have you actually done? Have you come clean to friends and family? Have you been transparent with communications and location? Are you an IC? Have you told the other man's wife? Have you reported the behavior to HR? Have you cut off any friends that knew and didn't tell him? Speak with your actions and behavior. Are you going out on girls' nights in-ish? Do you still have stealth messaging apps like Snapchat and WhatsApp? Did you give him all your passwords to social media, email, etc.? You chose a path that hurt him. Have you gotten completely off that path and got on a new path having left every molecule of everything and every person that was a part of the old path? I doubt it. But she has updates, so let's see what she's talking about. She has something here. Let's see. Okay, it's short. She has a few updates. So, and this one's short. Let's go ahead and read this one. Till death, is that wrong? She says, I know it's not a normal train of thought, but I don't feel like I'm allowed to move on. It's only proved to him that I didn't mean my vows. Yes, I broke one, but does that negate the rest? Till death do us part. Many parts of me would feel better if I were just to give him my life as repayment for the pain I caused, since he no longer wants to see growth or change. I worry about my mom and brother, but they'll be okay. And selfishly, I don't want to live in this pain any longer. Let's go ahead and look at her other update. And this one's short too. She says, if your ex is asking you if you were seeing someone else, would you respond? Let's check out her other one. Her last update was short and sweet too, and she said, separated anniversary tomorrow, though. Can I text him what I'd say? I have no idea. Hope I make it through the first anniversary without him. She is hurting. Should have did what you did. She has another one, guys. Let's see. And her last update was, are you reconsidering? Why not file? It's been a year. Does it annoy you or show interest when your ex emails or text you? And by ex, I mean separated over a year and you haven't filed for a divorce or legal separation. All accounts still tied together except for individual accounts created post-separation. So, verbal ex, not legal. I want to try. Wow, let's look at the comments here. Someone said, that sounds like a horrible limbo. Oh, she says, now I wish I could be infuriated with him, but the truth is, it's my own fault. And someone told her to go file, and she replied and said, I love him too much. It's not that easy. And then he replied, said, okay, then enjoy. And she replied and said, I'm surprised to hear you say that. That's what my gut says, but most people on here have said it's my job to let him go in and heal, and it's selfish to continue to contact him, and he deserves better, etc. So finding the balance between working on myself and still making it clear that until the day he files, I'm all in. And even after he files, I'd like to try until it's finalized. I've definitely cut back a lot since therapy for that reason. I realized that for 8 months, I was in an obsessed crazed phase, not doing anything different. So now I'm seeing a therapist, not contacting him nearly as often, and just trying to give him space and make it clear that my intent is to try and prove I am worthy of his love and eventually will win back his trust again. I was never physically involved with that man, but the messages were explicit, no photos or videos. I changed jobs, and unfortunately, I only recently started therapy as of 2 months ago, but I'd go weekly. She says we were extremely happy for 3 years, then started to try and have a child and found out I likely couldn't have a natural child, asking him to leave. He said he wouldn't, and he would work through it. I didn't seek help, instead just fell deeper into my own head. Boss had always flirted with me, which I thought nothing of, but during this time, I engaged and was texting with him inappropriately for 2 weeks. Husband discovers texts and walks away, hasn't really been back since, says he wanted a divorce, but he's too lazy. He's not a lazy man by any means and has plenty of time on his hands. His family doesn't know why he isn't filing or making a decision. I think probably because he knows it's torturing her. I don't either. My hope is that he's reconsidering despite what he actually is saying. He says he doesn't want to be in a marriage where he has to rebuild trust, yet all of our savings and accounts are tied together, and I could be blowing $500,000 over this past year. I don't know, false delusional hopes perhaps, but hope nonetheless. Let me give my thoughts. This is a very interesting one, guys. I've never read one where there's the other side posting as well about what happened, their side of the story. The unfortunate thing is his has been deleted. The comments are still there, like I said. You guys can check it out. And if you guys know how to find his, then I want to see it. I like this content, the messages I want to hear from his side. But we almost know what's going on. She's suffering right now. I think he might doing this because he knows she's suffering, he's letting her know, like, Oh yeah, I want to force it, but he's not applying. He says I'm just lazy, he's just blow it. He just goes on with his life like I'll do what I want to do. I won't do it when you tell me to, and it's been over a year. I think he's trying to get a payback, and he's trying to figure is your payback. Oh guys, let me know what you think about this. Let me know in the comments if you saw his original post. This is interesting. What do you think he is doing? Why? Did he take too long to send it? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next story.